You clearly awake in the drunken sword immortal system, where you get stronger by drinking, yet you transmigrated into a sect that forbids alcohol. And all disciples are not allowed to leave the mountain unless it's for demon-slaying missions. You tried several times to sneak down the mountain for a drink, but with your chair-refining stage cultivation, you couldn't even break through the sect's barrier. This made your already useless self even more useless. Until this time, you got the chance to go down the mountain for supplies. So you went down and got completely hammered. Who knew that on your way back, you would accidentally barge into the room of the sect's eldest senior sister, accompanied by several earth-shattering screams. Instantly, the whole sect was alerted, and you were thrown onto the plaza by a crowd of female disciples. While you were sleeping, your consciousness began practicing the peerless sword art given by the system, the Great River Sword with the Drunken God Sword's boost. Even with an insignificant cultivation, you could easily slay a tribulation stage expert. At the same time, the news of you invading the Sword Feather Peak spread quickly. Hundreds, even thousands of disciples flew towards Sword Feather Peak on their swords, and in no time, the entire sky above Sword Feather Peak was completely surrounded. Just then, a white light flashed across the sky and landed with a deafening boom. It was the third senior brother, Yuan, who already had a divine transformation stage 7th layer cultivation. Everyone in Nine Sword Mountain knew that senior brother Yuan was Yuan's #1 pursuer. Soon, Bai Yue, the master of Sword Feather Peak, also arrived late. Bai Yue was a late-stage completion realm expert, just one step away from the tribulation stage. His favorite disciple on normal days was Yuan. Bai Yu's face turned grim when he saw you passed out on the ground and asked what exactly happened. A female disciple wiped the sweat from her forehead and quickly went forward to briefly narrate the whole incident. Bai Yu's face darkened and he snorted coldly. Breaking the Nine Sword Mountain's ban on alcohol and committing the crime of intruding into my Sword Feather Peak is unforgivable. So what if he's a disciple from Sword Come Peak? First, cripple his cultivation, and then hand him over to the main Peak's Law Enforcement Hall. Just then, Yuan, who had tittied herself up, also walked out from the side hall with a group of female disciples. Yuan gritted her teeth as she looked at you sleeping on the plaza, feeling both like crying and laughing, recalling the fiery feeling from earlier. Her cheeks couldn't help but start to flush again. Yuan, are you alright seeing Yuan come out? Bai Yue had yet to speak when Yuan, his face livid, had already rushed over. Don't worry, I'll make the decision for you. Yuan's eyes couldn't hide his murderous intent. In the next second, he transformed into a sword ray and shot toward you. He hadn't even touched his goddess's hand, yet she had been violated, so he had to be the one to cripple you to ease his hatred. Meanwhile, you were already